Hey, welcome to Van's Tried It. Today, we're going to be making some creamy tomato pasta with sausage. So let's go ahead and get started. I have some water boiling here on the stovetop, and we're going to put in here 7 ounces of pasta. I have some rotini pasta in there, and we're going to cook that for about 5 minutes, and then we'll get back to you when that is all cooked up. Okay, so our pasta is done cooking. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take out 2 cups of this liquid here. This probably is not the most efficient way to do this. Let's see here. You can always just drain this off into a large bowl, obviously. Of course, if I'd had more water in here, it would have made it a little bit easier too. And a little bit more. There we go, that's about 2 cups right there. Set that off to the side. Then I'm going to go ahead and drain these noodles, and then we'll get back to you with the next step. Okay, so here I have my skillet, and I have sprayed just a little bit of olive oil on the bottom of it just to give it a little bit of lubrication for the next step. We're going to take 1 pound of Italian sausage, and we're going to go ahead and get this all browned up. So I'll get back to you when this is all browned up and drained. So we'll see you here in just a little bit. Okay, so I got my sausage all browned up, drained, and set off to the side, and now we're ready to go on to the next step. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, this is about 3 tablespoons of butter, and we'll just toss that in there. And then in here I have 1 small Vidalia onion that I have chopped with my handy dandy little chopper here, and we will put this all in here just like that, and we're just going to give this about 2 to 3 minutes while these onions get nice and softened up. And I'll tell you what, while I'm doing that, would you please go ahead and go down in the comment section and let me know what is your favorite pasta dish. Are you a spaghetti and meatball person? Are you a, I don't even know, lasagna? What do you like? I tell you what, I kind of grew up on Hamburger Helper, which is mostly pasta, and this is pretty reminiscent of a Hamburger Helper dish. The great thing about this dish, though, is I know all the ingredients that are in here, and it's going to just be fresher, and it's just going to taste a little bit better than Hamburger Helper, although there's nothing wrong with some Hamburger Helper. So I'm going to go ahead and let this get softened up. You go ahead and make a comment down there. And hey, while you're down there, would you please go ahead and like this video? And if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified whenever I post a new video. We'll get back to you in just a couple minutes. Okay, so our onions are starting to caramelize up really nicely, and you'll start to get this sweet smell out of there. That means that they're really starting to release their oils, and it's going to really change that flavor profile to a really sweet flavor. And now we're going to add to that, about a tablespoon of, this is some garlic paste. Now you can use like the bottled garlic that you buy at the store. You can use fresh garlic. That'd be about 3 to 4 cloves. But this is about a tablespoon of this garlic paste. And to that, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of paprika and 1 tablespoon of Italian seasoning. And we're just going to get this all mixed up really nice in here. Just give it just a couple minutes for those flavors to really meld together and just really begin to really incorporate right into our onion base. And we're just really wanting it to really incorporate in with that butter in there. And you're just going to look until it looks like it's all kind of incorporated in there together, just like that. And now we're going to take 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour, and we're going to do just the same thing. Just going to get this all mixed in here together. And this is really making just a really simple roux. And so you just want to really go until a couple things happen. One, you shouldn't be able to see any white from that flour anymore. And the next thing is you're not going to be able to go off of the color so much in this because we've already put in our spices and everything. But you will be able to start to smell a little bit of a difference. You'll start to get like a nutty smell out of this. And you want to let that happen before we go to the next step, because if you don't, your recipe is going to taste like flour. So we really want this flour to really start to cook into that butter and all the other goodness in there. And like I said, you'll start to smell a difference. It'll smell a little bit nutty. It won't take long when it's this little. And that's about all it takes. And I'm going to take this 2 cups of water that we had reserved. Now you can use fresh water if you want to, but the thing about using this water is it's going to have some thickening agents in it because it's that pasta water. And so part of what it's going to do is it's going to help this thicken up. So by using the reserved pasta water, we're not going to have to do something like add cornstarch to this. So it's going to go in, combine in here with all the spices and with all the flour. And we just want to give this a good stir. Just kind of wanted to make sure. This is also the time when we're going to be what's called making sure we deglaze the bottom of the pan. So if any of the spices or anything got stuck on there while we were cooking them, this is our chance to get them off of there with this water. So it looks like everything is incorporated really well. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 15-ounce can of tomato sauce. This is tomato sauce with some Italian seasoning, and that's what I like to use because I always just take whatever chance I can to add a little extra flavor. But we're going to put that in there. You can just use plain tomato sauce if you want to. And now once again, we're just going to stir this up. And what we're looking for now is we want to just keep stirring this until we have kind of a consistent color in here. We're wanting all of this to really mix together. We don't want tomato sauce and the buttery sauce. We want all of it to be one consistent sauce in here. And so we just stir, stir, stir. And you're going to notice that a lot of the differentiation is going to be right on the edges of our pan. And so we're just going to make sure we get that. And just like this, we have a consistent color. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to add 1 cup of heavy cream. And once again, we're just going to stir this up until it is one consistent color. Now you might be tempted to just combine some of these steps, but if you do that, you're not really going to get the results you're looking for. You need each step to go ahead and incorporate before you go to the next step. Part of what we're doing is we're getting everything incorporated. Another part of what we're doing is we're letting each one of those liquid bases really start to stand on its own. Because what we're doing here is we're making a pasta sauce, and today we're going to be adding the pasta right to it. But if you don't want to add that pasta to it like what we did, where we cooked that rotini pasta, you can just make this recipe without the pasta going in it. So you can just like cook some spaghetti or however you want to do it, whatever you want to put this on, and then just add it individually. But today we're going to be mixing it all together. So we got that all mixed together, and now we're going to add 4 ounces of, this is pepper jack cheese. And once again, this is freshly shredded, and we're just going to stir this up until it is all melted in here, because this now has become what? A cheese sauce. So just want to give it a good stir. And of course, anytime we're making a cheese sauce, we're going to use freshly shredded cheese, because if you have pre-shredded cheese, it's going to have some coating on it that's going to keep it from sticking together inside the package. That's also going to keep it from really melting the way you want it to. So you really need to go ahead and shred your own cheese. I like to shred my own cheese pretty much all the time, but especially if I'm going to be incorporating it into a sauce. And you'll be able to see here if it's done yet. You can see that it's getting done here. So when I run this through here and I pull this up, I don't have a lot of strings of cheese in here. It has just become now one really nice creamy sauce right in here. But like I said, this is going to be just like an upgraded version of Hamburger Helper. And so to this we're going to add our pasta back into the bowl and our meat back into the, I said bowl, but really it's a pot. And now we're just going to get this mixed up. And the great thing is, this stuff is already cooked. So we're not even worried about cooking this stuff. We're just wanting it to get in here, get all mixed together right in our pot and incorporated together. And the great thing about this rotini pasta is it really just gets that sauce right in between each one of those spirals. So we got that going there, and now all that's left to do is give it a try. So let's get some of this out of here and see what it's like. Who doggies? Okay. Oh, I almost forgot an important step. I have here some Parmesan cheese. Just sprinkle some of that over the top. That is good stuff. Just get in here and give this a try. That sauce is so creamy. You have the al dente pasta in there, which has just the right amount of bite to it, and then that sausage just really sets it all off. I'm telling you what. Sure, ooh, I'm making a mess on my shirt even. Sure, you can go ahead and get a box of macaroni and cheese or a box of hamburger helper, and you can put that together. But really, you can do this. It doesn't take that much longer, but you know everything that's in it, and the flavors are just a lot elevated from that hamburger helper. So, bottom line, I tried it. You should too.